Hey guys, how's it going? So a little over a year ago, I posted my first book haul. It was my second booktube video, and I know that there's a whole conversation on booktube and consumerism, but honestly, I had just started watching booktube and it had been so long since I've talked books with people, and all of a sudden I was just surrounded by all these people saying all these really amazing things and getting excited about these books, and it was just very exciting. So I would like to, of course, say you don't have to buy a bunch of books when you first join booktube, but honestly, you're probably going to, because if you join booktube, you probably love books, and all of a sudden you're getting all of these recommendations. So yeah, I also did the same thing. I bought a bunch of books right after joining booktube. So I decided today I'm going to look back at all those books. I'm going to tell you if I read them by now and if I still think that they were a good purchase. So let's just get right into it because there was a decent amount of books. The first two I got were pretty easy. It was Macbeth and King Lear by Shakespeare. Macbeth I had already read. King Lear I still haven't got around to, but I don't know, I have to be in a specific mood to read a play. Like if I'm just in the mood to read, I'm going to pick up a novel. So for this one it has to be a conscious decision, and I just haven't gotten into it yet. Next was Renegades by Marissa Meyer. This one I have not read yet, but I'm still really excited for it. The reason I haven't read it, which is the reason for a lot of these ones, is because it's the beginning of a series or there's a sequel, and I don't like waiting too long between reading a first book and the next book, so that's why I haven't gotten into this one yet. I'm really excited for it, I just want to hold off until I have the other ones. I did buy this a little bit earlier than I usually would just because I love this cover so much and I'm super excited for this story, so I haven't read it, but I do still think it was a good idea to buy it. Then I got The Hand of Robin Squires by Joan Clark. This one, I had already read it. I read it back in middle school, but I also reread it after buying it because it had been so long, and I barely remembered the book aside from a very vivid scene that just always stuck with me, which is one of the main reasons why I wanted to own my own copy of this book. But I did reread it, so this is worth like 2 points, right? Then I had Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. This one I did read. I really enjoyed it. I really like the OCD rep in this. I also talked about this book in my OCD book recommendations yay or nay video, and I thought that this was really well done. I'm very glad that I picked it up, and I thought that John Green did a really good job of depicting the anxiety side of OCD, and this one was definitely a good pick. Then I read But You Did Not Come Back by Marceline Lord-and-Ivens. I loved this book so much. I did read this one as well. I cried a lot. I've mentioned this book a couple times. It's a memoir from a Holocaust survivor who was a teenage girl in the concentration camps, and it's a goodbye letter to her father. Like, whew. I read this, I really liked it, I cried, it was a good choice. Then I got A Good Place to Hide by Peter Gross or Gross, I'm not really sure. This one I haven't read yet. I really wanted to, and I planned to read it after reading But You Did Not Come Back, but I think that book was just a little bit too sad, and I just needed a little bit more recovery time, and I just haven't got around to this one yet, but I do still think I'm going to get to it. I just have to be in the right mood for it. Next was The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I did read this one, I read it in August. This is the book that kicked off my newts and just gave me such an amazing reading month. It was my favorite book I read that month. It has become one of my new favorite books. Absolutely a great choice. Very glad I got it. Then I got Doing It by Hannah Whitten. This is just basically a big book of like sex positivity by Hannah Whitten, who's another YouTuber. If you don't know her channel, she's really fun to watch. I really enjoy her content. This one I do still want to get to eventually, but I don't know, I just haven't really been in the mood for it because, I don't know, I've just been in more of like a novel mood, like with a story, and this isn't quite a story, it's more of a discussion, and I just haven't been in the mood for it. But I do still plan to get to it eventually, and like I said, I really like Hannah Whitten, I really like her videos, so I still think it was a good choice to buy it. Next, I got Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This one I also haven't read yet, and it's the same thing as before. I really, really want to get to it. It sounds really exciting, really up my alley, but I know it's a series and I want to hold off until I own the other books, or at least they're out so I can get them right after I read this one. So I haven't read it yet, but that's only because I don't have the next ones. Which is the same case for the next book, which is Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. Again, this is a series, I think it's 4 books actually. I am really confident that I'm going to like this book, so I definitely don't regret buying it at all, and I saw it at a really good price knowing that it was going to come out soon and that I was going to want to read the rest of them. I figured I would just buy it at the discounted price while I saw it, So definitely think it was a good choice to buy it, but I haven't read it yet. And now a book that I kind of wish I hadn't read, The Pleasure of My Company by Steve Martin. This was just... It was poorly written, it was problematic, it was offensive in a lot of ways, it wasn't an enjoyable read. A tiny part of me enjoyed it in the way that, like, you're enjoying something you're not enjoying, if that makes sense. But I would not recommend this book. I actually rewatched my original video before I filmed this, and I mentioned in it that I didn't know anything really about this book. I just saw that it was a couple dollars, and basically I needed a couple more dollars of books to get free shipping. So in that respect, I'm kind of glad that I bought it, but I would have rather picked any other book. So at least I only spent a couple dollars on it, but I wish I would have picked something else. And then I read Wherever You Go, There You Are by Jon Kabat-Zinn, I think. This is just basically a self-help book about mindfulness, and I mentioned in my video that I don't usually enjoy self-help books. I don't like the format of them, and it's very rarely something I enjoy reading. I'd rather watch like a chatty video than read a self-help book, if that makes sense. But I heard so many recommendations of this specific book, and I figured I might as well buy it. I haven't got to it yet, but I've mentioned a couple times, but September was just a really rough month for me. So October, I'm really focusing on my mental health, and I've been really getting more serious about practicing mindfulness. And like every night before bed, I just sit and I just think for 10 minutes and just little things like that. And I think that I'm probably going to pick up this book soon. This is one of those books that even though I haven't read it, I'm glad that I bought it because it's nice knowing I have it for when I do need it. Even though I haven't picked it up yet, knowing that, you know, there's a little bit of a self-help book sitting on my shelf waiting for me, is just a little bit uplifting, so I still think it was a good choice. Next, I got the entire Graceling trilogy by Kristin Cashore. This one, I specifically bought all three of them because I wanted all three matching covers and I had all three available. I just don't like when series covers don't match. It just bothers me, and I had a pretty good feeling I was going to like these. I haven't got into them yet. Honestly, a little part of it is that I'd heard about these books and I'd really wanted to read them, and then a little while after I bought them, a couple months later, Hannah from A Clockwork Reader read them and has been gushing about them, and it almost made it a little bit too intimidating, so I haven't picked them up yet. And I think also just, I don't know, I'm just a little bit intimidated by them and I just haven't picked them up yet, but I definitely still want to get to them eventually, and I'm glad that when I do finally get to them, I have a matching set. Next, I got Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian. This is another one that I really, really enjoyed. I kind of wish that it was a little bit less like typical YA. You know, there was the love triangle, there was the same, like, it just had a very specific format, but that format was done in a darker way than usual, and I enjoyed the darker way of it. So I am still really glad that I got this book. I am still really excited for the sequel, which I'll probably pick up eventually. I just haven't got around to it yet, but I am glad that I read it and that I bought it. Then I got Girls Made of Snow and Glass by Melissa Bashardoust. This one I absolutely loved. I think I read it for my owls, I want to say. That sounds about right. But I really liked this. It was another really, really enjoyable book for that month. I really liked just the way it was written, and it was just a really fun book. It was a really quick read, and I really liked the characters. I am definitely very glad that I bought this one because I hadn't heard of this book at all before joining BookTube, so I'm glad that BookTube introduced me to this book. Then I got The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This one I actually almost read for my newts, and then I decided at the last minute to take it off the list because I knew there was a sequel coming out soonish. I'm pretty sure the sequel came out recently-ish, or is about to come out, something like that. I'm learning a lot more about current books on BookTube. I just still don't know when anything comes out, but anyway, this is the first book, and I figured I want to read it, but where there's the next one coming out soonish, I'm going to hold off a little bit longer, and then I haven't looked into yet if it's just duology or if there's going to be more books. I think there's going to be more books though, so I'm going to hold off a little bit on this one, but I'm still excited to get to it for whenever I do. Then I got Scythe and Thunderhead by Neal Shusterman. I also read these two. I loved them so, so much. The Toll recently came out, or is about to come out. Again, I'm not good at BookTube, apparently, but I am really excited for the third one because I absolutely loved both of these books. I am very glad that I got them, and it was just really fun reading them and getting excited for the third one. But I'm really glad that I read these. They were really, really fun, and they were my favorite books for whatever month I read them in, so it was a good choice. Then I got The Heartlight Saga by T.A. Barron. This one I haven't read yet, mostly because it's gigantic, and I just haven't really felt like it yet. This is another one that I bought not knowing anything about it, but it was, hi Comet. I can't remember if this one was just a really, really good deal or if I specifically needed a little bit more to push me over the edge for free shipping, but I picked it up and I'm still glad that I did because whichever case it was a good decision, and this is the whole trilogy all in one, so it's all 3 books, so I think it's still a good thing to own. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but I do still plan to. Next was The Skinning Tree by Srikumar Sen. This book I absolutely hated. I did read it. I think it's my lowest rated book of the year. I'm gonna have an entire rant video on it. Side note, at the end of the year I will be doing my best and worst books of 2019. Expect to see this one on the worst books list. Hopefully I don't read any books that are worse than this year. But yeah, I didn't like this. Yeah. I mean, you're not gonna love every book that you buy, so I can't be too upset, but this one I definitely, if I had a time machine, I would buy something else instead. And finally, the last book that I had hauled was The Bargaining by Carly Ann West. This was a fun little thriller, mystery, horror type story, and I don't read a lot of those, so I wanted to pick it up. Even when I had first bought it, I had seen a lot of the reviews were very mixed, but I still wanted to give it a chance, and I'm glad that I did because it was my favorite book that I had read that month. It's pretty cliche, but it's so cliche that it's almost unpredictable, and I just think it was presented in a really good way. But this book kind of just reminded me that I really like that genre, so I'm really glad that I bought it. I just counted out the 2 piles, and between the 24 books, I read 12 of them, so exactly 50%, which is better than I usually am. And for the most part, the books that I haven't read yet, it was because of a good reason, and I still think that they were a good idea that I bought them at that time. Like, a couple of them I'm really just waiting for the series, and some of them I didn't realize at the time that they were going to be a series. So I think that is pretty darn good. Every book that I bought that I haven't read, I do still intend to read. Like I said, the books that I did read, I enjoyed almost all of them. There was only 2 that I didn't like, but that's pretty darn good. That's 10 out of 12 that I really liked. So overall, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm satisfied, and I can't wait still to eventually get to the books that I haven't read yet. Maybe I'll do another check-in next year and see if I finished all of these ones. We'll see. So that is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the like button to let me know, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see if a year from now I have read these books. And of course, any other videos I post about reading, writing, my cats, etc. So I hope to see you guys next time, and until then, have a great day. Bye!